Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another episode of Success with Cess, where we help you make your dreams come true. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell because I love to interact. Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another episode of Success with Cess. Today, I have the amazing Dean Cardinale on the show. He's a good friend of mine I've known for over 10 years. And Dean, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, Seth. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to see you.
Likewise.
I know that you've been traveling around the world quite a bit this year. And just to tell the audience a little bit, and before we get started to the audience, please do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell and share the videos with your friends, especially those friends of yours that might be interested in our topic today. Dean is the CEO and founder of Worldwide Trekking and the Human Outreach Project that we'll touch on a little bit later on in the show. Once again, Dean, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, Seth. Great to be with you again.
Yeah. For the audience, Laura and I met Dean back in 2010. We just signed up for a trip to summit Mount Kilimanjaro, having the crazy idea that we could do that trip, and Dean and his crew at Worldwide Trekking made it happen. Dean, tell us a little bit about, first off, one of the trips that you really started with Worldwide Trekking was that Mount Kilimanjaro hike.
Yeah, the Kilimanjaro was in our first year. We had started our business with Everest Base Camp treks and Kilimanjaro and safaris. And you were, just a few years into business when we met on Kilimanjaro. And I think, like so many people, when you and Laura signed up, I know you had done some things here in the U.S. and it was probably one of your first international kind of big adventures. Kilimanjaro is a big adventure. And I think it's life-changing for people. And it's awesome to see people come over to Tanzania, East Africa, and climb Kilimanjaro, the highest point in Africa, the highest point on the continent, one of the seven summits, one of the highest points on each continent. And, come over to Tanzania, Africa, and, hike up through 5 eco changes to 19,341 feet. I mean, it challenges people greatly. But at the end of the day, they can, most of the times do it. I've done it with groups, for me, over 80 times on Kilimanjaro. And I've had, people not make it, but very few. But I have had most people tell me when they do tell me, and I think other people think it, that it's the hardest thing they've ever done in their life. But they can do it. And that's awesome.
Yeah. Up until that point, I thought it might have been the hardest thing that I'd ever done. But I've since then, I've done a few treks with you, and I can say that there's some that have been more difficult.
Well, that's what happens. I think people kind of, there's a lot of ways for us to use our free time. And, we all work so hard at our jobs. I know you work hard in real estate, and Laura doing her photography, and we all busy social calendars and things like that. But, when you take that time where you set a goal to do something fun and rewarding, it's nice to go to the beach for a few days and do those things too. But to come on a trip where you challenge yourself and you prepare for it and you get excited about it and you tell your friends and you come back thinking like, my gosh, that's like life-changing what I just accomplished. I love to see people do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Mentally, I felt like I could make the summit. But I remember specifically on that summit night, and guys and gals out there in the audience, Dean and his crew are so thoughtful and conscientious about the process, because climbing from literally the gates of the Machami Trail at 5,000 feet, and then summiting Mount Kilimanjaro a week later at over 19,000 feet is a phenomenal accomplishment. Dean and his crew, I just remember you just just telling me in the middle of the night that I would do it and that I could do it. And your encouragement really helped out a lot.
I mean, I love to be, guiding people is such a rewarding things to do. Probably like you guiding someone through buying their home, another stressful thing that people go through. For me, guiding people in an unfamiliar place, they're probably professionals and very good at what they do wherever they live. But to push people, I always think of guiding as the art of pushing someone further than they think they can go, but not further than what they're capable of doing.
Right.
And really
Right.
pulling that out of people and really, showing them that with good guidance, with, the thoughtful breaks and good meals and tents and camps that are comfortable, with all these things that we provide, they just have to kind of listen to the briefing in the evening before dinner, know what to expect the next day, and kind of get in the zone. And
Right.
you help them along the way. It's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely right. And the positivity from the other guests really makes it a lot of fun. And so that Mount Kilimanjaro experience was awesome. That led us to go to the Inca Trail. I think that was the next trip that we went with you, and the hiking in the Andes Mountains and ending up in Machu Picchu. The We've done the sailing trip with you. We've also done the Mount Everest Base Camp trek, which is where you are headed next. Tell the audience a little bit about Mount Everest, the base camp trek, and flying into Kathmandu. It's such an experience, and such that one was the most difficult one that I've ever done. And
I think that is another one. We have on all of our trips, they have a rating system: strenuous, moderate, whatever it might be. Kilimanjaro's rated strenuous, Everest Base Camp's rated strenuous. I think like today when we're talking, I'm in my gear room preparing for that trip, and it starts with preparation. I'm kind of making videos on the types of boots we want to wear, the other types of shoes we want to bring, all of our layers. And it starts with preparation. So we send people a gear list, so you show up with just the things you need. And then, on Thursday, I'll fly over to Kathmandu, Nepal. It's a long flight. I'll go through Dubai, heading to Kathmandu. We spend the first couple days in Kathmandu. I'm meeting 14 people for our first trip. I'll do 3 of them in a row this fall. And my first group's 14. That afternoon when they arrive, we do a little walking tour of one of the cultural sites, Durbar Square. Then the next morning after breakfast, we do a briefing on, again, what to expect and safety on the trip, give everybody the outline of what we're doing, to pull this off. Go visit a couple more cultural sites. Then we fly into the Khumbu and we trek village to village to tea houses. We stay in a tea house, and everybody asks what that is. It's a lodge basically run by a Sherpa family where they provide meals and a simple bunk room where you can put your sleeping bag out, and they're private. There's 2 bunks in there for couples or individuals, and we make our way from about 9,000 feet. Nepal or Kathmandu is about 4,500 feet. We fly in helicopters now into the Khumbu, about 9,000 feet, and we trek for 10 days up to the Mount Everest Base Camp, which is, if you go up Kalapatar, it's 18,500 feet. Everest Base Camp is 17,700 feet. And we go village to village. We take a couple double days to acclimatize. I check everybody's medical stats, their oxygen saturation in their blood, and check in on them individually on a medical chart every day.
right.
And we acclimatize safely, and it's
Yeah,
just a fantastic experience.
and I can just remember so vividly some of those spots, even though Mount Everest for Laura and myself was over 10 years ago. Villages like Namche Bazaar and Tingboshe and Ferrichet and Gorak Shep, which was on the doorstep of the final leg into the base camp. I mean, just those are memories for me that are just emblazoned into my mind, and I just will never forget that trip. It's just priceless in the experience.
Yeah, I think it's, so much about the journey. Like whether it's Kilimanjaro, people think about like summiting Kilimanjaro, or Mount Everest, they think about getting to Mount Everest Base Camp, making the destination. But then I think when you go, like what you're mentioning, you know, you are trekking amongst the highest mountain range in the world in the Himalayas. You're going to Mount Everest Base Camp, but along the way, it's what you see, like the Sherpa villages, like Namche Bazaar, the monastery visits, and the special blessings, and the people that you encounter, and then the camaraderie of the group. Like you say, it's about the other people that you meet that are
Yeah,
that are
for
signed up
sure.
with you, that you're eating with every meal and trekking on the trail with, and it's really a fun. There's so much more to it than just making it to Mount Everest Base Camp.
Absolutely. And so, recap for the audience briefly on some of the other trips, like the Southern Utah, the
Yeah.
Iceland,
So we are basically a
Alps.
yeah, so we are basically an adventure travel company. We fall in the more luxury category, because we are doing adventures. So they're all rated. So moderate rated trips are trips that, we hike 5+ miles a day, but a lot of times hotel based. Like I just got back from the European Alps, our Matterhorn to the Mont Blanc. It's 9 days. We trek through Switzerland, Italy, and France. We stay in beautiful hotels in Zermatt, Switzerland, and Aosta and Courmayeur, Italy, and Chamonix, France. So they're really great, fun, lift assisted hikes each day. I also
Amazing.
just got back from I was in Europe all summer, so I did 4 trips in the Alps, in our Matterhorn to the Mont Blanc, and I did 2 trips in the Italian Dolomites. Similar hotel based hikes each day, lift assisted. Having lunches at beautiful mountain refugios, and then coming back down on the lift to cool villages to look around in. We also do Iceland, Machu Picchu, like you mentioned, Patagonia, and then for some of the more easy active trips would be like our European, or our, excuse me, our sailing trip in the British Virgin Islands. I usually do those in February and March. I'm a certified U.S. sailing captain, so I take groups for 7 days. We get 50-foot sailboat and go island to island through the Caribbean.
Hitting Willie
Or,
T's.
yeah, hitting Willie T's and all the hot spots. And we also do safaris in Tanzania, Africa. East
Yes.
Africa is home to the Serengeti and the Ngoro Crater, and really great trips, I guess, easy active. Here, we're based in Salt Lake City, Utah. So we do visit our national parks. Utah is home to, 5 amazing national parks: Zion, Bryce, Capitol Reef, Arches, and Canyonlands are all
The
here.
Mighty Five.
The Mighty Five national parks. We can also go to the Grand Canyon. We have that commercial permit as well. I think there, like I was mentioning in Everest Base Camp, you see all those destinations that you expect. What I think people don't realize that we have here in southern Utah is this amazing pioneer history, and this amazing Native American rock art, and archaeological sites, and dinosaur tracks, and all these other things that we combine each day with visiting some of our most premier national parks, and doing the great hikes in those parks. And with a guided experience in a national park, you can avoid the most popular trails that everybody goes to, that they look online and find, and it's crowded, and go to places that are a little more obscure, and you're going to be enjoying the desert like the desert should be, a little less crowded. So yeah, we have a 15 passenger Sprinter van, and again, stay in hotels each night. We pack picnic lunches each day, and do a couple camp cookouts, in picnic areas near our hotels, and a bunch of meals in restaurants as well. So
Right. Before we end, please tell the audience what the best way to get in touch with you, and how to contact you to find more information about the particular trips that they might be interested in.
Yeah, some of the good things to do are visit our website at www.trek. That's www.trek.com. And on there, you can direct message if you want, or just contact us through the website, or we're in the office Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Another good way to look at things, if you're interested, is visiting our YouTube channel. Just go to the search bar and type in Worldwide Trekking. We have over 500 videos online, everything from gear to the day to day on a trip to a lot of questions answered. But those are good ways. But we are in the office. Give us a call. We love to touch base. And then I do a lot of Zoom calls as well with people to connect
Yeah.
and answer.
Yeah, I definitely like those video updates when you're out somewhere on a trip and where's Dean today, and you're updating us of where you are and what your guests are experiencing. Once again, folks, thank you for joining us. Today our guest was Dean Cardinale of Worldwide Trekking. Please remember to subscribe and hit that notification bell, and join us once again for the next episode of Success with Sess. Dean, thank you for being on the show, and we'll see you soon.